Epping Forest, UK. The mysterious disappearances and screams at night, situated on the outskirts of London. Epping Forest is well known for its historic woodlands, as well as its sinister past of enigmatic disappearances, notorious killings, and terrifying paranormal stories. With stories of spectral apparitions, strange nighttime screams, and a history of sad incidents, including the infamous Babes in the Wood murders, the forest has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in the United Kingdom. These are the main details regarding the Myrtles Plantation, the ghost of Chloe, and the heartbreaking slave tales that surround it. Number 7. Babes in the Wood murders. One of the saddest and most eerie periods in Epping Forest's troubled past is the Babes in the Wood murders. On what appeared to be a typical day in late March 1970, 11-year-old Susan Muriel Blatchford and 12-year-old Gary John Hanlon disappeared from their North London communities under suspicious circumstances. After a job interview, Ronald Jebson, a man with a very troubling criminal history including child sexual assaults, met the kids and took advantage of their trust and innocence. In order to effect their obedience and judgment, he supplied them intoxicants, such as beer and weed. After that, Jebson took them to a secluded area of Epping Forest, close to Lippett's Hill, where he had laboriously built a temporary hide out of willow branches to hide his heinous deeds from the public. The youngsters suffered unspeakable anguish inside this hide. After sexually abusing and strangling Susan, Jebson moved on Gary, who tried to escape but was also overpowered, beaten, and strangled. Susan's arm was wrapped over Gary's in protection, as the bodies were left blanketed in leaves and twigs. The country was startled when a dog walker found their decomposing bodies 78 days later. Number 6. The disappearance and death of Richard Okoroghai. The disappearance of 19-year-old London University student Richard Okoroghai in March 2021 gave Epping Forest's bleak image a more modern spin. Richard reportedly disappeared into thin air after leaving his house and getting on a bus. His whereabouts were unclear for weeks, causing fear and conjecture despite intensive police efforts, community searches, and media attention. His body was eventually found in a lake inside the woodland, submerged. The riddle of how a young, healthy person ended up in such circumstances was further complicated by the Metropolitan Police's description of the death as unexplained, pointing out that there was no physical harm or proof of foul play. The forest is dangerous because of its size, thick undergrowth, and many bodies of water, especially for anybody who are hiking alone or are not familiar with the area. Number 5. A history of murders and concealed bodies. Epping Forest has an infamous reputation as a murder victim disposal site because its vast, dense woodland has long been used as a covert location to conceal the evidence of violent murders. More than a dozen bodies have been found in the forest since the 1960s, many of them the victims of ruthless killings that took place in isolated, challenging-to-reach places. For criminals looking to avoid detection, the forest's natural features, thick undergrowth, many ponds, and large shaded groves offer ideal shelter. Notable criminals like Harry Roberts, who notably used the woodland as a hiding to murder 3 police officers in 1966, and the Cray twins, who were London's most notorious gangsters in the 1950s and 1960s, are entwined with the forest's grim past. Some of the victims that have been recovered are very gruesome. For example, one woman was found with a crossbow bolt stuck in her skull, highlighting the horrific crimes associated with the area. Number 4. The ghost of Dick Turpin and other hauntings. Dick Turpin, the infamous highwayman from the 18th century, is one of the most well-known ghosts that inhabit Epping Forest, which is rich in centuries of folklore and paranormal stories. According to legend, Turpin's ghost haunts the Loughton Camp region, where guests have claimed to have seen a dark figure riding a horse and silently rushing through the forest. Unusual sounds, such as hoofbeats resonating in the silence, inexplicable whispering, and abrupt chills in the air, frequently accompany these encounters. Reports of poltergeist activity, odd sounds such as disembodied footsteps, and vanishing shadows that disappear when approached are common in the forest beyond Turpin. The deep canopy and ancient twisted trees of the forest intensify visitors' perceptions and feed ghost stories by creating an eerie environment. Number 3. Hangman's Hill and the Legend of the Screams. Some of the most terrifying stories in Epping Forest are told about Hangman's Hill, a legendary location. Local legend states that public executions used to take place on this hill, with a hangman dragging condemned criminals up the slope to be hanged and decapitated at the top. The gravity hill phenomenon, the idea that a car will roll uphill against the laws of physics if left in neutral at the base of the hill, is one of the most persistent and unsettling myths connected to Hangman's Hill. This is ascribed to the hangman's ghost, whose presence is claimed to use invisible powers to draw cars upward. In addition to seeing spectral forms, sometimes portrayed as the agonized souls of the hanged or shadowy executioners, visitors to the hill have reported hearing spine-tingling screams reverberating through the night. Number 2. The Suicide Pool and Cursed Waters. The Suicide Pool, a remote little body of water said to be cursed and haunted by the restless souls of people who committed suicide there, is one of the darkest legends associated with Epping Forest. According to local folklore, the pool has an unbearably heavy and unnatural atmosphere. The water is always dark and motionless, and the birds are mute no matter the weather. The most popular story is about a young servant girl who killed herself and her baby in the pool because she was so hopeless. This legend weaves together themes of supernatural upheaval, human tragedy, and the forest's reputation as a meeting point of death and emotional suffering to create a terrifying warning that both locals and tourists find compelling. Number 1. Other ghostly figures and folklore. Beyond the well-known hauntings, Epping Forest is home to a wealth of other paranormal legends and ghost stories, all of which contribute to the gloomy atmosphere of the place. These include legends of headless horsemen charging through the forest, phantom riders whose origins are unknown but whose looks arouse fear. There are rumors of a drowned girl's spirit near the ancient King's Oak Bar, whose somber screams can occasionally be heard on foggy evenings. Additionally, there are tales of women drowning themselves and their children in the ponds in the woodland. Their spirits are said to wander restlessly, caught between worlds. Epping Forest attracts people who are interested in the macabre and the paranormal because of these tales, which have been passed down through the years and combine historical tragedy, regional folklore, and otherworldly aspects. The woodland maintains its eerie image by fusing real-life mystery with spectral legends, capturing the interest of both locals and tourists. Epping Forest is still a mysterious and legendary site of natural beauty. The terrifying tales and unexplainable occurrences guarantee that the forest mysteries will always enthrall and enchant anybody who visits or hears its tales, regardless of your belief in the paranormal. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.